You're probably not lazy. Now that may come as a surprise to you if you've been beating yourself up for not getting things done, but trust me when I say there's a good chance that you're actually out of alignment. Now, in this video, I want to share with you what it means to be out of alignment so that you can stop feeling bad about the things that you haven't accomplished yet and start accomplishing more instead. Let's dive right in. Okay, so to explain what it means to be out of alignment, let's take a step back and look at the word lazy itself. Lazy comes from the word lazier, which literally means at a lower energy state. So lazy is a lower energy state. The opposite of that would be higher energy. But if we were to take the term higher energy and use it as a way to describe how we do things, what we have now is hustle culture, grind culture, which is basically trying to go to a higher energy state all the time. And I am all for going to a higher energy state. It's just that most of us are always in a lower energy state and we want to get to a higher energy state. So we force ourselves to do things that require more energy than we actually have available. And that's where the problem lies. Here's an example. Say that you really wanted to write a book, but every single day you find yourself getting distracted by social media or TV shows or YouTube videos or whatever else. And then you feel bad because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so lazy. I need to write a book, but I keep doing these other things. Well, here's what's really happening. Your current energy level is here and your task requires energy over here. So what you're experiencing is you're out of alignment. You're trying to perform tasks that require a certain amount of energy when your current energy state is somewhere else entirely. The key to getting things done is learning how to match your energy to the energy required for the task that you want to accomplish. And in order to do that, you have to first understand where your energy goes. The thing is, our attention flows where our energy goes, and our energy goes to what has our attention. And the reason for that is because your attention is quite literally addicted to those things. When you watch something on Netflix, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that makes you feel good. That's why you do it. But the problem is that over time, the more you expose yourself to things like social media and TV and these other things that release large amounts of dopamine, the more that your brain gets used to it, the more that you're desensitizing yourself to dopamine. This means that you need more and more of it to achieve the same effect. So it's like a drug addiction where you need more and more of it to get the same high. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I know I have. I can sit down to watch one episode of a show, but before I know it, I've watched 10 episodes straight. That's because the show has my attention and my energy, and it's keeping me in that state. That's why I don't ask any of my friends to send me spoilers, because I know that if they tell me any spoilers, it'll ruin the experience for me. And that's why it's so hard to break free of this cycle. And listen, I'm not pointing the finger at any particular activity. I love watching YouTube videos too. I love watching TV shows. But the point is that the more we expose ourselves to these activities, the more that our brains get used to them. And yeah, I said it, it's kind of like a drug addiction. Over time, it becomes harder and harder to focus on things that require less dopamine. It becomes harder and harder to read books. It becomes harder and harder to work on our goals. But what if we could hack this system? What if we could find a way to make working on our goals more fun, more engaging, something that gives us dopamine? Well, turns out we can. And it starts with changing our relationship with the tasks themselves. See, when we approach our tasks with resistance, when we think I have to write this book, we're tapping into survival mode, the reptilian part of our brain that is constantly looking for threats. And when you say to yourself, I have to do this thing, your brain interprets that as a threat. So your brain is gone not try to protect you from that threat by distracting you with YouTube videos and social media and all these other things. But what if we could reframe this? What if we could find a way to approach our tasks without resistance, without saying, I have to do this? What if we found a way to align ourselves with our tasks? When you align yourself with your work, you tap into something called flow. Flow is a state of intense focus and complete immersion in what you're doing. When you're in flow, you lose track of time. You forget about everything else going on around you. You're in a state of complete presence in the moment. And this is where we want to be when we're working on our goals. But flow isn't just some magical state that we can't control. It's something that we can cultivate through deliberate practice. First, we have to learn how to let go of our attachment to outcomes, let go of the need to force things. We have to learn how to accept things as they are, how to be okay with the fact that sometimes things won't go our way. Then we have to learn how to be curious about our work, how to find joy in the process itself, how to be grateful for the opportunity to do this work in the first place. But it does mean that we have to be conscious of the energy that we re-expending on these activities, and we have to be intentional about shifting our attention and our energy to the tasks that require them. So if you're struggling to get things done, if you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed or burnt out, chances are you're not lazy. You're simply out of alignment. Your energy and your attention are mismatched with the tasks that you're trying to accomplish. But the good news is that this is something that we can fix. We can learn how to cultivate flow. We can learn how to align ourselves with our work. And in doing so, we'll unlock our true potential and accomplish amazing things. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.